You've read the books, watched the case studies, maybe even hired the consultant, and your business is still stuck. Here's what no one is telling you. The problem isn't your market, it isn't your product, it isn't your team. The problem is the brain running the operation. And the scariest part? The smarter you are, the harder this is to see. Studies show that entrepreneurs spend up to 70% of their time on tasks that feel urgent but produce almost zero strategic value. Not because they're lazy, because the brain is wired to prefer the familiar over the effective. Psychologists call this action bias, the compulsion to do something, anything, even when doing nothing would produce better results. Think about the last time you redesigned your website instead of calling a potential client, rewrote your pitch deck instead of testing your offer, attended a networking event instead of finishing the product. That wasn't productivity, that was your brain hiding from the harder, scarier task. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most entrepreneurs aren't failing because they don't work hard enough. They're failing because they're working hard on the wrong things, and their thinking is making that invisible to them. So what exactly is going wrong inside the brain of a struggling entrepreneur? Trap number 1, confirmation bias. You already believe your idea works, so your brain filters every piece of feedback through that belief. Positive signals get amplified. Warning signs get rationalized away. A customer says, "Interesting concept," and you hear, "I'll buy it." An investor passes and you think, "They just don't get it yet." Consider Quibi, the short-form streaming platform launched in 2020 with $1.75 billion in funding and some of the biggest names in Hollywood behind it. Early user feedback was telling them the product wasn't working. Viewing numbers were weak, subscribers weren't returning. But the founders were so convinced of their vision that every warning sign got explained away. Wrong timing, pandemic disruption, marketing issues, anything but the idea itself. 6 months after launch, Quibi shut down completely. The idea was never the problem. The thinking around the idea was. Trap number 2, the planning fallacy. Here's a fact that should stop you cold. Research consistently shows that humans underestimate how long tasks will take by an average of 40%. 40%. That launch you planned for 3 months, your brain already knew it would take 5. It just didn't tell you. The Sydney Opera House was estimated to be completed in 4 years. It took 14. Estimated cost, $7 million. Final cost, $102 million. And this wasn't incompetence. These were world-class architects and engineers. This was the planning fallacy operating at full scale. The universal human inability to accurately forecast complexity, resistance, and the unknown. Your startup is no different. The brain that planned your launch is the same brain that has been systematically underestimating timelines since the beginning of human civilization. Trap number 3, sunk cost paralysis. You've invested 6 months, $50,000, and your reputation into this direction. And the data is telling you it's not working, but you can't stop. Not because the logic says continue, but because your brain cannot psychologically accept that the past investment was wasted. JCPenney did exactly this. When their new CEO, Ron Johnson, launched a radical pricing overhaul in 2012, sales collapsed almost immediately. Customers hated it. Data was clear within months. But the company stayed the course for nearly 2 years, hemorrhaging over $1 billion, because reversing course meant admitting the decision was wrong. By the time they changed direction, the damage was irreversible. Sunk cost paralysis doesn't feel like stubbornness. It feels like commitment. That's what makes it so dangerous. Here's what separates the entrepreneurs who break through from those who stay stuck. And it's not intelligence, it's the habit of thinking about their thinking. Psychologists call this metacognition, the ability to step outside your own mental process and audit it like a stranger would. Practically, it looks like this. Before any major decision, ask yourself, what would I have to believe for this to be wrong? Not to kill your confidence, but to stress test your assumptions before reality does it for you. The most dangerous entrepreneur in the room isn't the one with the worst idea. It's the one who is absolutely certain their idea is right, because certainty shuts down the exact cognitive flexibility that building a business demands. The market doesn't care how convinced you are. It only responds to whether you're actually solving a real problem for real people. So here's the shift. Stop asking, what's wrong with my business? Start asking, what's wrong with how I'm thinking about my business? Because the business is just a mirror. It reflects your decisions, your biases, your blind spots at scale. Fix the thinking and the business has a chance. Leave the thinking broken and no strategy, tool, or mentor will save it. At 300 Seconds University, we don't just tell you what to do, we show you how your mind is getting in the way of you doing it. If that's the education you've been missing, you know what to do.